Yellow and hey redesigners, it's Cece from Cece Restyled. Sorry I'm coming on late, but I mean I had a really good reason. You should expect it kind of at this point, late, but I had to put on my eyelashes, so I was really doing, I had your best interests in mind, okay, because trust me. Anyways, moving on. So I'm Cece from Cece Restyled, and I'm a furniture artist and a brand ambassador for Redesign with Prima. And I am going to show you today how to transfer it onto a curved surface, okay? So flat surface, okay, you'll learn it. Easy enough. Once you got that down, you can do a curved surface, which may seem easy to some people, may not, may be intimidating. In either case, I'll show you how I do it because I've done a few and I kind of got it a little figured out, so most of the time. So let's do that. So I don't know if you can see these curved fronts so well from the front view. Let's see from the side view. And if you are hopping on, say hello. Let us know where you are tuning in from, and big howdy from Indianapolis. So here is our drawer fronts, our draw faces here. Obviously, you can see the bow front on that one. You got a nice little pot belly guy here in the middle. No, wait, my camera doesn't go down more. Let's see. Can you see? Oh gosh. Let me see. Let me adjust my tripod. Thought I had it all figured out, didn't I? There we go. Now you can see. All right, pot belly guy in the middle, and then this one down here. He's not quite as curved as Mr. Potbelly, but in a similar curved fashion. So these two are opposite, and that one's just, he's along for the ride. But I have got, okay, let me start from the beginning again. So this piece is a client commissioned custom piece, okay? And it's obviously a Bombay chest, my favorite. I like them. I have a little thing for them a little bit. And so she came in, saw the piece, and told me that she wanted a solid color, a pale green she called it, but she picked out this color. And she said she wanted it solid, nothing fancy, just a solid color. And of course, I took that as let's blend in some highlights. So still a solid color, right? Like I did what she asked, but I added a little bit of highlights here in the middle just for a little bit more oomph and dimension, okay? Very subtle. What I want to do is, okay, backtrack. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. My mind. I need to slow down the mind. Let's breathe. So many things happening, getting caught up in everything that just need to breathe, okay? So, okay. I happen to have another one of these exact same chests right over here. And so she showed me that one and she said, I want it like this, but one solid color and similar to the original design on the front, which is these hand-painted little swirly flowery guys, okay? I mean, it's just convenient that I have the same one right here. I did not plan that. So originally I had these painted, there's scrolls, there's flowers, scrolls, little bits here and there. And she said, I want it like that, like the original. If you could do that on a solid color background, that's what I want. And so I was like, okay, I can do that. So I'm keeping it simple. At the same time, I'm gonna do it simple my way. So what we're gonna do is use some decor stamps, the new clearly aligned decor stamps. There's some scrolly designs, so we're gonna pick one of those, and we're gonna kind of lay down our little shapes here to mimic. We're not copying that exactly, but we're gonna mimic the idea, okay? So we'll lay down some scrolls, and then we will transfer these floral areas. Again, I'm not literally copying that. It's just an interpretation, the essence of the original. So I chose Burgundy Rose Garden for a couple reasons. It's kind of vintage looking. It's pretty vintage looking. And the colors, they kind of jive. They're a little, I don't want to say monotone, but like, they're in the same, family. They are, for all intents and purposes, kind of monotone, but different shades of the same types of colors. Does that make sense? So fairly toned down. They also have that kind of pale green that we see here, which is also the background color for our piece. So it coordinates, seems to make sense. We get our desired effect, and that's how we chose that one. Now, the decor stamps I want to do, that was a little more spur of the moment, if I'm being honest. And I have not nailed down or committed to the color yet, so we can just, we can do that in a second. But clearly aligned decor stamps are fairly new from Redesign with Prima. They are furniture or home decor stamps, wall art, whatever you choose to use them on. They put out a lot of really fun designs, and they're rigid, so you can use them on, they're fairly rigid, so you can use them on flat surfaces. You don't need a stamping block or anything behind it. Or you can just put it on curved surfaces, and you know, it flexes just enough to conform. It's great, it's perfect, very ideal. So we're just gonna pick one of those real quick and go with it. Looking for some scrolly jobbies here. Come on, where are you? So there's ink that comes in the new line of pads. So there's, or you know, you can get it white, copper, a couple of other colors, I think black and silver. I like to use paint because I need a specific color, and they don't have that in the ink. So boom, so you can get as custom as you want with paint, and we're gonna do that. Let's just go with this one. Woo. It's scrolly. This one is Elegant Scrolls, you know, appropriately named. And I'm missing a couple because they're in my utility sink getting washed, but I think these will get the job done actually perfectly. So it's fate, it all works out. I love it when a non-plan works out. Okay, so clearly aligned decor stamps. They are, like I said, rigid enough to use alone, flexible enough to use on curves, and really pretty, washable. I use a scrubby soap to wash them, and depending on the kind of paint I'm using, if I'm using metallic, you can kind of just peel it off when it's dry. But if you don't have a scrubby soap or you're not using metallics, you can use a little like kind of one of those bristle brushes that looks like a giant toothbrush. I don't know, I use it when I'm stripping furniture, and I don't know the exact name for it, but a little bristle brush that, you know, looks like a big old toothbrush. So I think this little guy, boom, actually this big guy, that will fit very nicely right there. And we'll have flowers on top of it that will overlap a little bit, and then his counterpart, the mirrored, little mirrored guy, mirrored image right there. I guess we could go, no, we're going this way. Mirrored image right there, or, well, no, not backwards. Mirrored image there. And then, let's see, where's this little guy gonna go? I mean, there's a possibility that fitting right there, somehow, that way or that way, is gonna work out perfect. It's like a puzzle. And I love it when the pieces come together. That is exactly what design is. It's a puzzle that you have to figure out and make it fit and work. At least that's how I see it. A puzzle to figure out. So boom, we got our stuff chosen. Well, the paint color, let's pick that. Ooh, let's see, let's just take them over here. So you can use paint, metallics, inks I showed you, adhesive. You can roll on adhesive and use that with mica powders or glitter or leafing or whatever, foil. What else can you roll on? Let's think. I don't know, does anybody else think of anything you can roll on the stamps and make something cool? And I'm not ignoring anyone. I appreciate you hopping on. I'm just, I try to pack a lot into my lives, and I tend to chatter, and I don't like to be too long because, you know, nobody wants to listen to my yammering for that long. All right, so we can do our stamps in Moxie by the Sea, which is a paint couture color, or Peacock, which is a paint couture color, as you can see on the dot. Depends on how dark or contrasting I want it. I'm not really sure to be exact. So let's pull out our transfer and see. Yes, I maybe should have had this done prior to, but I am usually scrambling and late. That's the story of my life, so embrace it. Let's see. So the colors of the transfer, I mean, they are perfect for this background color. Just perfect. Like that. And so we have, let's see, Moxie by the Sea again. That's a little bit too green for my tastes, and that's a little too dark for my taste. You think? What do we do? Actually, you know what? This might work. Now that I'm thinking about it, the stamp, it might be just subtle enough to work. So let's try it, because guess what? If we don't like it, we can just sand it off or paint over it and try again. It's not permanent. It's not a tattoo, okay? It's just paint, so don't be scared of it. And here's what we're gonna do. We picked out our stamps. I got a roller and a tray. This right here is a roller brush from Redesign with Prima, okay? Kind of an essential if you ask me. I use it for stenciling, perfect, stripes, perfect, and obviously stamps, perfect. It comes with 4 of these little roller brush heads, a long handle, and see that short little kind of dense foam? It's a dense, so it does not drip and soak up lots of paint and then squash it on your whatever you're working on and get all those drippies under. It keeps it very crisp for the most part. So I like that, and easy to clean. And it comes with this little acrylic plate you can pour your paint on if you want to be fancy, but I am not fancy, I'm sloppy, so here we go with one of these. All right, so let's go ahead and open up our Moxie by the Sea, or whatever color you choose, and pour that into our tray. So we're gonna, what we're gonna do is set our stamps down and roll the back of the stamps with our roller, and then we're gonna stamp it, okay? So pour, roll, stamp, repeat. If I can get the paint open. Stuck, of course. Again, maybe something I should have had done, but you know. Hot mess express, always. There we go. Yes, I know all the tricks. You can put Vaseline, saran wrap, yada, 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 but that would require planning and a level of adult behavior that I just don't know that I have. All right, so we'll put a little top here. Da, 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 da. I'm sorry. I know that this is not teaching you anything except for what not to do with your paint, okay? So take a lesson from this. Take care of your jars of paint. All right, boom, so we're back in business. And I'm just gonna pour out like, I don't know, a dollop. About, let's say 1/8 of a cup, max. For now, we can always add more. And then let's go ahead and move over to our other little chest here so that you can see. Does anybody have any questions about the stamps or the roller brush while I'm clumsily cleaning up my mess? I don't see any. So that either means I'm super boring, or I'm explaining it super good, or I'm not getting comments. Anyways, maybe I'm not getting comments. Yeah, I don't see any comments, not even a hello, so I don't know. Well, if I'm not getting comments, I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring anyone. I just don't see any. That or just nobody wants to talk to me. Okay, then. I won't be offended by that. Okay, fine. All right, here we go. Decor stamps all up in your face. You want to do this obviously on a flat surface or a level surface. I mean, that might be common sense. It might not be. And we got our stamps. We're going to put the stampy side up. For sure. There you go. Better raise you up. Lift you up, okay? Lift you up, not tear you down. Now you can see. And stampy stamps, roller roller, and stamp side up. I'm just gonna roll it on this clear sheet that the stamps come on, because I use it to save my stamps when I'm done, but it's plastic so I can scrape it off, wash it off, whatever I need to do. And I'm not gonna ruin anything underneath it, but boom, flat. Let's be OCD about our placement here. Boom, okay, and let's roll up some paint in our roller brush. You wanna make sure that you're firmly pressing that when you're rolling it, because you don't want the paint just kind of dripping off the brush. You want it to be soaked up in that roller, so that it's like, nice and crisp and clean. You do want to load it up. It won't appear to be loaded up with paint, but it is. It will be, as long as you get a good amount in there and press firmly. Load her up, boys and girls, load her up. Oh, of course, a little mess there. Boy, I don't know if I can go 5 minutes without making a mess. Okay, so let's do one at a time. We're gonna start with, let's start with this side. And this one will be, okay, so this will be, let's see if I can get you in. Let's see if we can make this a little bit more efficient. I'm gonna roll roll this little guy over here so I don't have to keep moving you around and you get sick and dizzy. All right, boom. See, how's that for a solution? So this guy over here, I want to make sure I've got the right placement before I commit. This guy is going to go right here, okay, right? Is that where we said? Or wait, did we say this way? What did we decide? I think we decided, oh, heck, we're going to do that. Okay, so our left side goes like that. Let's go ahead and roller on our paint. So you want to not press super hard, okay? You don't want to squirt that paint out and get it down in the grooves if you can help it. You want to just roll the back. Lightly get that paint on the raised areas of the stencil or stamp and, you know, get it good and covered, but try not to get it too, you know, gloopy or runny or drippy. And you want to kind of stick it on your piece quickly before it dries because most, you know, chalky style or the paint couture paints, like furniture paint in general dries pretty quickly because of the things that are put in it for durability. So you don't have a lot of working time. So I'm going to just go straight to stamping, less chatting, carefully. And again, you can use a, you know, an acrylic block, wooden block, a trowel, anything flat and rigid if you want to use that. And oh gosh, which way did we say? Oh, we said this way, didn't we? Yes. And we're going to go ahead and boom, place it. See, we're working on a curvy surface, so this is a little tricky. Oh my gosh, the anxiety. So just put it down, girl. Just be confident and place it where it needs to go. So this is a curved surface, so I gotta be a little careful, and that's okay. Stamps, in my opinion, and from what I see in my experience, they're not like stencils where you're aiming for perfect, crisp perfection, okay? Like, yeah, you can try, but I see them more as like a distressed age type look on my piece. So if I want something crisp, I go for a stencil or, you know, whatever other method, but I do not try to seek perfection in my stamps because you will drive yourself crazy. So I just take them for what they are, imperfect, a little distressed, a little aged, and that usually works out most of the time because I like that look. You can use a brayer on the back too, but I just like to use my fingers. Boom, voila. Magic. Can you see that? See how subtle it is? It'll dry up just a bit darker, which is cool. We're okay with that. See that? See that little background pattern? The little nice background we're laying down for our transfers. And let's go ahead and just do, okay, the middle one's a little bit different, so we're not gonna do that. We'll just stick with the top one for time's sake. So let's go ahead back over here and roll our other side, our little mirror image, our partner, our twin, our accomplice, and we'll just load up our roller brush again. I love stamping, you guys. It's fun. Stamping is fun. It makes you kind of feel like I'm crafting, like a, you know, scrapbooking or a kid again or whatever, but it's on a bigger scale, so it's, you know, different. All right, so here's our mirror image, and let's go ahead and I just, if you're just hopping on, I just want to reiterate that I am not getting comments, so I'm not ignoring anyone, and I appreciate you being here, but there's no comments. So it could be a huge coincidence that everyone is just in awe of my magnificent eyelashes, or it's a glitch. Either way, I'll check later, and if I miss anything, then I will address it, okay? So we rolled the back of stamp number dos. Carefully, we're going to bring it back over here and place carefully. And like I said, don't stress out about the placement. If you mess up, touch it up with the background color, sand it off, whatever you got to do. It's just paint and it's not permanent. You can bounce back from almost any mistake you perceive yourself to make on a piece of furniture or art or what have you. So it's not set in stone. So I'm going to do my best to mirror this center. Okay, I could measure it, but for time's sake, we're not going to go there. But I'm going to do my best to center and place it symmetrically. Okay. I'm gonna take my fingers and make sure it's all nice and pressed on, flat, surface, well, not flat, but you know what I mean. The surface touches the stamp, okay? All points touching and engage. Oops, scooted that one just a little bit. Try not to scoot your stamp. Sometimes it just does that. But again, part of the charm of stamps is the imperfection and the aged quality. So I ain't gonna sweat it. Okay, pull it off carefully or quickly like a Band-Aid. And there she be. So we got one more little guy left. That's gonna dry quickly. While that dries quickly, we will go ahead and transfer our pot belly here, and you can see how we go over curved surfaces, okay? All right, so we got our last little stampy guy here, and he's just a little guy. Little guy, but super cute. I love scrolls. I love scroll work and, you know, these types of decorative ornamentation so much. I just love them because they're versatile. You can put them on just about anything and they work. Kind of like a keyhole. I am in that boat with keyholes. Keyhole all the things. All right, so which way did we decide? That way? That probably makes the most sense. Looks like a little guy flexing his muscles, doesn't it? Little bodybuilder guy. Okay, we're just gonna plop that smack dab right there in the middle. Boom. Okay. It's okay that it overlaps just a hair on our stamp impressions we've already done because that's probably gonna get covered up with flowers anyhow. Okay. Boom. Again, you can use a brayer on a flat surface. You can use an acrylic block, a wood block, trowel, whatever's flat. I use my hands because I don't like to grab extra tools. Call me lazy, but all right. And then we're gonna take it off either really carefully or we'll just rip it off like a Band-Aid. And there you go. So pretty, right? Can you see that? Because on my screen it's just darkened and I can't. But just a little bit of subtle personality, okay? So we're gonna let that dry. We're gonna move on down to our pot belly here. And like I said, curved surfaces. You know how to transfer flat surfaces. And if you don't, there's lots of tutorials on that. But this one, however, is curved surfaces. So similar process, just a little bit differently approached. So you gotta be careful, obviously. And let's go ahead and pick out which piece we want to transfer, and then we'll walk you through pot belly application, all right? Pot belly draw. My pot belly draw. Still too high up, huh? I might have to get down on the floor. Oh, boom, that's the money shot right there. See it? See it? So in case you're just hopping on, there it is from the side. Look at that rounded, curvy goodness, okay? Curves are beautiful. So here's a transfer. Let's see. Okay. Burgundy Rose Garden. We are matching, let's see, so we just have a little bit of, see those little flowers there? Just kind of like bouncing around there. Got a little something feathery up there, you know, some little organic goodness. So we're just gonna try to kind of get that feel, not copy it exactly. So I think I wanna start with maybe some smaller flowers and see how those will place. So this is Burgundy Rose Garden, or at least part of it. There is this sheet with kind of the bigger clusters, and there is 2 sheets with different size and smaller clusters, which is perfect for jewelry box, trinket boxes, cigar boxes, small things, as brick molds, whatever people are doing these days. So there's a little guys you can cut apart. There's a big guy. There's some little guys. So very versatile. This is a transfer that, if you would like, you can piece together some of the elements to make a you know, bigger piece, or you just cut them and chop them and use them however you want, which is kind of my jam. There's some more little guys there, and then a big guy. I don't know if we're gonna use a big guy. And okay, so I'm thinking let's go ahead and just, these are kind of feeling good to me. They're very reminiscent of the flowers that are on the original piece, and I think those are calling my name. I'm looking to see any last minute other guys calling my name, and oop, I see another little cluster, but it's just like this. So I'm gonna cut that out. The cool thing about these new, the transfer manufacturing process is a new one. Transfers are same, applied same, you know, colors and all that jazz, but the manufacturer, we get these grid lines, okay? I don't think it's gonna be applicable in our situation, but if you're working on something that you need to line up, like a square drawer or you know, a corner or what have you, these come in super duper handy. You don't have to, like, you know, be a scientist and try to figure out your right angles and all that. You just cut on the line. Easy, easy, easy. Let's go ahead and cut out our little cluster here that we want to use. And I'm figuring we're probably going to have to chop it a little bit, which is fine. I like to do that. Oh, wait, no, we were going to move down here. Shoot. You know what? What is wrong with me? We were going to move down here. All right, reverse. I'm so sorry. I'm a little preoccupied today, and I don't like it. My mind is... All right, so we're just looking for a big cluster in the middle. So I'm sorry. Hopefully we'll have time to do that one, and we'll use what we just picked out. God, you guys probably think I'm a complete nut job. I am. That's true. But you know what? Nut jobs are, oh, we're cool. All right, so I think I'm actually going to start with this little cluster here. He looks a good size. We can leave it or we can add on to it. The size of the flowers is perfect, so there we go. That was easy. Cut her out, boom. Now you want to be really careful handling your transfers, the newer ones. So the backing paper does not stick on quite as, you know, quite as well as the old ones, and it's not supposed to. I mean, the old ones stuck on more so, stronger, I guess, but they're not supposed to stick and stay on. They're supposed to come off so you can access your transfer. But these ones are a little looser, less sticky, and you want to be careful handling them because even I handle several transfers sometimes in a day, but at minimum 7 or 8 a week, okay? So I get a little rough with them, and occasionally, like, I'll just kind of plop them down, and this will come apart. It'll stick to itself, and then you're up crap creek because there's no fixing that, okay? Once it sticks to itself, there's no fix for that, unfortunately. You just kind of have to cut out the part that you can't use anymore. So just be careful. What I like to do is lay them out, unroll them carefully, lay them out flat on the ground. If I need to put something heavy on top of it to weight it down so it doesn't curl up, I do that. And then, you know, after a few minutes, they're less bouncy, but you definitely want to be careful because transfers aren't, I mean, anything costs money, regardless of your perception of costly or not. Money is money, so you don't want to waste it. So you want to be careful with them and keep your hard-earned, you know, materials. And also, you know, as much as I hate to say it, like, when it happens, it's really kind of user error, and I don't like saying that because it doesn't sound very kind, but it's, you know, you can't be careless and blame the product. I'm just being honest there, so just be careful, you know? So we're gonna start by figuring out where we want it roughly, okay? So I'm thinking I could put it in the middle, all right? That looks a little dinky in comparison to our drawer. I want a little beefier, so I'm just gonna start on this side maybe, right here, and then we'll just kind of build up a little nice symmetrical type shape, or asymmetrical balanced shape. So that looks good. So I'm going to peel off my backing paper, okay? That's the same as any other transfer application on whatever surface. Peel it away gently. Don't touch the adhesive if you can help it. And then we're going to lightly line it up where we want it, which would be roughly around, let's just say around this vicinity. I want to beef it up, but I don't want to spread it out too much. So typically on a flat surface, you're just going to press it down and kind of rub it in with your palm. Commit to the location, start to adhere it. On this curved surface, it's a little bit different, okay? We can't do that. If we were to do that, it would bunch up in little, you know, in different areas, and it wouldn't go down smoothly. We would have to manipulate it, cracking, tearing, crying, and all of that jazz. So we're going to try to avoid that by just adjusting the way we apply it. So what I'm gonna do on a curved surface, I like to start at the top. You can start at the middle and work your way outwards, but I feel like you have more chances of kind of screwing that up. So I like to start at the top, okay, and just be very careful. Start at the top and work my way down. So I'm gonna go ahead and press that right on there on the top, hold it with my finger, get my little application stick, my burnishing stick, my scrapey doodle, and we're just gonna start at the top, okay? Starting at the top, starting from the top. We're gonna just kind of work it on, you know, like you normally would, firmly. You wanna make sure it's nice and adhered. I should mention this is on dried paint, okay? No sealer, no wax, no nothing in between. Dried paint, transfer directly on your dried paint, okay? That's what I'm doing, and that's what I usually always do. So we're working our way down, okay? So we're going down the surface, we're just kind of following it. Now, this isn't just curved this way, okay? It curves this way and it curves that way. So we got a whole nother variable to deal with in just a moment. But for now, we're just gonna kind of put on our little flat, or not flat, but our top down. And then once we start to get into the areas where it is starting to bow this way and this way, here's where I don't know if I want to say trick, but here's where just the difference in application is. I want to start to peel off a little bit what I've already transferred on to relieve some slack on, you know, the parts where it's pulling from the curve. So you don't want to pull all the way off, it'll rip your transfer, but just down enough to where you are relieving the slack here and here, okay? So let's just kind of release the demons, okay? Get that tension out. Work it, girl. Okay, so now that we've, you know, given it a little slack, we can continue in, let's see, we can continue down and then over, or, you know, over and then down. It really doesn't matter as long as you are consistent. Let's go ahead and go down, and then we'll worry about over. So I'm going to make sure that doesn't stick too crazy, or try to, and I'm going to just continue down with my transfer, get that part all buttoned up. Yeah, you can see. Sometimes I wear my big heads in the way because it's happened and I don't realize it, and before you know it, it's over and no one could see what I was showing them how to do. Talking about embarrassing. All right, so we are rolling on, or scraping on. Now, so now we're gonna relieve the slack this way. So pull it up like, yeah. Oh, that little doohickey needs to stay put. Right, so peel it up slowly, and we're relieving some of the slack in this direction. Okay, so at this point now, since we have gotten, you know, this little curve taken care of, we have this little curve to contend with. So I'm gonna go ahead and see how it's bunching right there? Can you see that? You probably can't. See how it's bunching right there because it's going over two different curves, and that's what happens. It bunches up. So you can either take a little knife and slit it, but then you have to manipulate the leaves and all that, and that's kind of that's more of like a expert type thing, which I'm not saying you can't figure it out. I'm just saying we're not going there this time. So once you relieve the slack on this curve, now we can go this way. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to kind of pull out any wrinkles that we can. Because wrinkles, I mean, wrinkles are not terrible, better than rips or tears. However, they're a little bit unsightly and not preferred. All right, so now we're going this way. So I'm not sure, I hope that you were able to see that and make sense of that, that explanation. You know, obviously you're watching on a video, so it's a little more 2D. Hopefully you could see the 3D explanation anyway. So basically, in essence, if you're to take away anything from this, when you're contending with non-flat surfaces, just make sure that you're paying attention to where your transfer and backing paper are starting to bunch up, or what's the word? Bunch up, or, you know, what is wrong with me? Pay attention to when you need to make a cut or a release to free up some space and provide some slack. Okay, that's the best way I can put it. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, you know, just put in the comments you are a weirdo, you don't make sense, what are you talking about? And I won't be offended, I will just try to explain it better. But anyways, so I don't know, that's kind of it really. It's not rocket science, but at the same time, if you're not understanding the process, I've seen a lot of people a little intimidated by it, so they ask, and shedding some light on it, it's nothing to be intimidated of it. Just minor adjustments to your already perfected transfer application process. Simple as that. Not as hard as you might think it would be. So, easy. Yes. For some, maybe more than others, but with a little practice, practice makes perfect. And voila. So, there's our little floral jobbies on our curved surface. Look, no cracking, no tearing, no wrinkles. Well, bubbles I'm gonna get out right now with my palm. You can use your palm or your finger pad to burnish, smooth, adhere. Make sure that sucker's on there real nice and good, okay? And then you pop out those bubbles. Sometimes they're a little more stubborn on certain things. I've noticed that the smoother a surface, the more bubbles you get and the harder they are to get out. I was putting some transfer on an epoxy finish recently, and the bubbles were insane. So as I popped out what I could, and what I couldn't, because they were, some of them were being quite impossible. What I couldn't, I took a little blade knife and I just popped them, just like you would a bubble, pressed them down, and no harm, no foul. They were just fine. So she's good and on there. She ain't going nowhere. So now I can just, you know, build up the rest of my little floral cluster, move up here onto my stamps, and go on with my life. So that is stamping on a curved surface and transferring on a curved surface. You got a little bonus in there. So, oh, I see a comment. Wow. Okay, so I don't know if I should be offended or happy. So no one had any comments before that, or oh, now I see them. Comments just appeared out of nowhere. That's weird. That's really weird. But you know what? It is what it is. So happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. The weekend's coming up. I hope you have a really great one. Stay safe. I will see you next Thursday right here in the Redesign with Prima group on Facebook at noon EST, or if we're talking about me here, maybe noon 15. I don't know. So see you around then next Thursday. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll go back through, and if they are not already answered, I will try to do so. So have a great day, and thanks for watching.